It's a cool Sunday afternoon, my friends. Not sure what time of the afternoon it is, but I'm going to mix up some soil. So, what do I have happening here? I have in this little space, not little, so little, there is sharp sand. This is perlite, rabbit manure, and promix soil. So I'm going to mix all of these together as complete as I can by myself in this quarter of a water tank, because I don't have space to mix, so I have to use this quarter of a water tank, and I'm going to mix this soil up together and store this away for future projects, because I have a lot of projects happening. So in case there was anyone wondering what I use as my soil mix, now I had to put a little plug in there. When I say a plug, in the sense that my soil mix has been changing over the years. As fast as you gain more knowledge and you gain a better understanding of your environment, you adjust your soil to suit. And this is the latest version of soil that I'm using. Now granted, not everybody will have the availability of rabbit manure, or not everyone would have the availability of perlite. You know, some people might even have the availability of purchasing promix. You can go to the hardware and get sharp sand, which serves as, you know, a good medium to allow for oxygen to pass through the roots when watering and allow for good drainage. You know, the sharp sand allows for pretty good drainage, and you mix that with your soil, whatever soil you have, and you make it work. But you need to understand what is most important. You need to understand the environment that you have. Is it that you have an environment that fosters a lot of sun, which means your soil would dry out even faster? Then you make the adjustments to suit. Maybe less sharps and more organics. If you have an environment that allows your soil to hold a lot of moisture, you could decrease on the organics and increase on the inorganic items. You adjust accordingly, and you do what needs to be done so that you could have the healthiest plants. Yeah, just thought I would go through it with you guys. So I'm going to make this mix, and I'll show you what it looks like afterward. Alright, so almost finished, basically finished. Just doing some additional turns to the soil to make sure that everything is incorporated evenly across as best as I can, as this is a one-man operation and it's quite a bit of work for one person. But I'm showing you all this for not only to understand how I treat with my soil or what soil mix that I make, but to also get a better understanding or to pay attention to your environment. Because a lot of people are of the opinion that if a particular mix of soil works for one person, it will work for everyone, and that is not the case, because we all have different environments, even if we live in the same country. You know, one person's yard may be heavily shaded versus another person's yard could be extremely exposed, you know, and that is something that you need to take into consideration. There was one of my friends told me that they went to a workshop, and they asked the person who was conducting the workshop what is their soil mix, and the host of the workshop told my friend that that was a secret. So which I found very funny. Funny, and dare I say the word foolish. I don't know that there is any secret recipe to mixing soil, but what I do know, and I stand firm in this, is that you need to figure out what soil mix works best for you in the environment that you are in. Apart from the environment that you are in, it's all based on the trees that you have, the collection that you have, and what will work best for that tree. So there are factors that you would take into consideration when you're mixing your soil. So I'll leave you only on that note, my friends. I will see you guys soon, and have a fantastic day. Bye. It's how I forget to tell all you. A sweaty face a little bit. As I usually say, be good to yourself. Be good to others. Treat people how you want to be treated. And remember that our planet, our climate is our responsibility. We have an opportunity to change it for the better. If not for ourselves, let's do it for the future generations. Yeah? Click that like button, it helps. Subscribe if you haven't. Drop those comments. In this case, I'd love to read your comments. Let me know what is your soil mix. Let me know what is your environment. Let me know what your take is on mixing soil. This is a very good, as far as I'm concerned, this is a very good conversational topic. Soil mix and how it affects you. So I'll go see you all soon. Take care. Bye.